Welcome to TechbrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn how to create MySQL 8.0 instance on GCP with high availability and connect from our local laptop by using MySQL. You can use a workbench as well. Now, then we are going to fail over between the zones, and that we will do it manually. Let's go ahead and take a look here first how we can create it. Here am I on console.google.cloud, and here I will go to navigation, and in the navigation I'm going to go to the SQL tab. Once I'm there, I'm going to create the instance. So here we have a create instance tab, or you can start from here, doesn't matter. It's going to take us to the same place, and now we are going to go for MySQL. Here we will choose the MySQL. So you see right there, there are 8.0, 5.7 and 5.6 versions available. Now click right there and wait for it. Now here we will provide our instance name. I'm going to go and say Tech Brothers MySQL. That's the name of the instance I'm given, and then I'm going to provide the password for the root user. So let's provide that. After providing the password, you can do no password or password. I'm going to go with the password. And here is the password policy. You can read all those kind of things, the maximum length, minimum length, complexity, and everything. So I have provided some password with some dollar sign and other signs and all that. So it should be fine. So now what we are going to do, we are going to choose the database version. Here you have options 8.0, 5.7 or 5.6. I'm going to go with the latest one. And now we have this choose the configuration to start with. You want to do for production or you want to do for development. I'm going to go with the production right now because I'm going to drop this instance anyways after creating them. So that's fine. And now I can go to the configuration details, and here you can see that with the production you have a high availability, and that can be in multiple zones. Here you have only single zone, and remember that we want to do have a high availability, so that's why I'm choosing production as well. So vCPUs, and then memory and other information is right there, but I'm gonna make some changes to this one. Also the same information you can see right here, it's displaying on the summary side of the this page. Now let's go and take a look here on the region. My region, I'm gonna go for South Carolina. Okay, and I'm not going to go with single zone. I want to go with multi-zone because I would like to have high availability available. So in case one zone has outage, then my instance will be available from the other zone. That's what the high availability is. If you want to learn about high availability in detail, I have a demo where I created a SQL server with a high availability and show all those details, articles and everything. But I will put the link in the description for the article so you can see the picture how exactly the high availability works in the GCP. Now what we can do from here, we can leave this as it is, or we can choose two zones. If you leave a primary zone as it is, it is going to choose one of these, and then it is going to select one of any other one which is not primary, or you can go simply with the B and C. That's fine, no big deal. And here we will go further configuration changes. And in the machine type you see right there, we have 4 cores. I'm going to go with the small one. I'm going to go with the custom, and I will go with the 2 vCPU and this 3.75 GB RAM. Now with the storage, you have multiple choices here. You have HDD, you have SSDD. I'm going to go with the SSDD. That's fine, but I will go with the 10 GB only. Here you can choose the storage. If you want to enable automatic storage increase, you can do it. In case I am selecting 10 GB here, once that's full, if this is enabled, it will increase automatically. If I have disabled that, then I'm gonna have errors, and my instance might shut down because I don't have more storage, so it's gonna shut down for operations. So it is a good idea to enable automatic storage increase in case of you have a production, but if you are developing, it's fine. You can always come back and make changes. Now you go with the advanced encryption options, and here you have a Google Manage encryption key or Customer Manage encryption key. If you have a Customer Manage key, you can work on that one, but I'm gonna just go with the Google Manage key. Here you have connections, and I'm gonna go with the public IP, and also I'm gonna add my network. That means I'm adding some IP from where I would like to access this instance. If I will go ahead and let's say my IP, and that's I have to find my IP. What is my IP? Okay, so I'm gonna copy the IP of my machine and then paste it there. Okay, let's copy this and then let's paste it there. Now let's hit done, and we are all done here, and we have data protection here. You can see automatic backups if you want to do it. So the window is for from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. So it is a daily backup. It's going to take between this window. If you don't want to take the backup, you can probably disable, and all those kind of options are available. So here in this case, it's not giving you to disable part right here. So if I will go ahead and say disable, enable delete protection. Yeah, it's not for being protection. I believe that's why automatic backups and point in time recovery protect your data and loss or minimum cost. So see right there, if even I change the advanced option, let me see if it will let me change. So no, it's not really letting me do it. So you have to have kind of backups, and it's called multi-region default. That's and it's selecting the US data center because our instance is in the US. Number of total backups you want to keep default is 7. So the max you can go is 365. So if you do 366, it's going to give you error. So only for 1 year you can keep backups. Of each backup is going to be per day for entire instance, and then max the number of backups you can have is 365 days. Okay, now in our case we have 7 days fine, and now what we can do, we can go further here and look at the other items. So if we enable this sentence, wouldn't be able to be deleted until this feature is disabled. So if you don't want anybody to delete this instance, you can enable this one, and if you are fine with that, you can just ignore it. So somebody can come and delete it, is fine. Otherwise it will stop you to delete your instance. Go to maintenance here, and if any window, or you want to select some maintenance window, maybe on Monday and some early mornings and all that, you can provide that. So here is the order of update, and earlier timing is useful for test instances, allowing you to see the effect of an update before it reaches to your production instance. So in this case, let's say if it is production, what we can do later, and then that will help us, because if you have the test environment, maybe you can do earlier. So if they do maintenance windows, they do perform some patching and all those kind of things, and do the maintenance, then earlier is fine. You can have this on your test environment and let it go through and see if this create any problem. Otherwise for production you can always go for later, that's fine. Now let's go to the advanced option, and you can deny maintenance period if you want to, from this date to this date, that's also there. Now let's click on advanced options. Here you can set flags here. So here if you want to add some flags, that's possible. So let's see if you have any right there. So you have all these different settings, and if you want to set some flag for some of the values, you can do that right here. Now I'm not going to go with any, so I'm going to cancel for now, and you can add labels here for your instance if you want to. So you can have add label here and provide the value. So one of the thing I was taking a look here is you can go with single zone and multi-zone, and here's one setting I was looking for, is called choose your right here. Okay, enable point in time recovery. So it will take the log backups for 7 days, so you can go anytime between 1 to 7 days to do the point in time recovery. So you have full backups for 365 days. Each day you can take the backup, you can change to 365 days max, but you have a point in time recovery only for 7 days. So that's important. Now this is all good, and we are going to do we are going to go create instance. Our MySQL instance is ready, and what we can do, we have this IP here, and we are going to take that IP and connect from HideSQL. I'm going to look for HideSQL here, and then we'll open the HideSQL that I already have installed. I have a complete tutorial on HideSQL, how to connect to the different instances and what are the features available in HideSQL. So look for the playlist in the videos for the HideSQL. Once you open this session manager here, you can go and click new, and then you can name it. I'm going to call this one MySQL GCP. Okay, and here you will provide the IP what you have there, And now we will have a user root and then provide the password. It's going to connect on 3306 port. So let's provide that password. And now we are all good. Let's hit open and it should connect to our, yes. Now you see that these four different databases are already created. They are system databases, so information schema, MySQL, performance schema, sys. These are all system schemas databases available. And now what you can do, we can go right here and just we can close this or open a new query and all those kind of things we can do right here. Now if I click right there, it's gonna open a new query. Now, if I want to write a new query, so I'm going to create a database. So first, let me show you GCP side and how you will see the list of the databases. So here you will see the databases, and these are the system databases. You can see right there, they are already created when we installed this MySQL instance. Now I'm gonna go just minimize this one, go to overview, and then in the overview you are gonna see all that information, that you have CPUs, memory, SSD, storage, and some other information. If you want to take a look on the operations, error logs, that's all available here. If you want to take a look on the zone in which this MySQL instance is created, it's US East 1B. Okay, we can always fail over to the C. We will do that after doing some testing here. Now, if you go right there, you can take a look on the backups. There are some backups that we have enabled, automatic backups. Backup automatically created after creating an instance with the PIRT enabled. So point in time recovery, okay, that's what it is. Now we can see our values here. We can see it automatic backups enable. Then backup window, that's the window in which this backup for entire database is on this instance will be performed. The total backup it can keep is 365 days, and then we have enabled the point in time recovery, that's for 7 days, and we are in multi-region US, that's our region, and then we have multi-zone enable as well. Now we don't have any read replicas and all that here. I will make another video on the replicas, but right now we are good to go and take a look on our creating database. So here is our operations. If you want to see, create, this is the instance created, and then we have backup taken. Now let me take you the backups here, the databases here, and you remember that you can create the database from here. That's also one way to do that. Here is a character set that you wanna use. If you want to choose some different, you can do it. And I'm going to use a test database here. Correlation, you want to go with the default, leave that as it is, or you want to choose something different, you are good to create that. So you see that now the user database is created and the name is test. Now if you go to the MySQL and here if we refresh our instance, and what's going to happen, the test database appeared. Now I can simply go ahead and say create a table, test ID integer, name worker, and that should do it. And what's going to happen here is going to create our table. Just execute this query, and now we can insert the data into it. Insert into test and say values 1, and then we say Amir. Okay, so this should do it. It will insert one record there, and now test already exists. Okay, I'm gonna just remove this statement, so execute this statement, and now what we can do, we can select the data, select start from test, and then it's gonna show us the results. So it executed this query one more time, and then showed us the results. So if we redo, it's gonna add the third record there and show us the values. So that's great. We have created the test database. So we can also create a database from here, and we'll say create database, and I'm going to call it test2. So that's fine. You can run the query, and now it's creating a second database, and we can refresh, and let's see what happened there. So refresh, and you can see test2 database is created as well. That's great. Now if you go back to the GCP portal, you refresh this part here. Let me click right here, come back to the databases one more time, and then you are gonna see the test2 database created is showing them. See, the character set is different from when we created from the graphic interface from here by using this one. So you can always change that and make sure the character set you want to use you can use when you are creating the database. I just created this one with MySQL by using create database, and also you see that the collation is different for me. So provide the collation and character set when you are creating a database from the MySQL if you want to keep in a different collation and character set. Now that's great. We can't really create tables and all that here, but the most of the work you are going to do in MySQL or you are going to do in the workbench. But let me take you back one more time here, and now our tables are there, everything is there. Now we can go to the right here. Let's say if we are here, we are gonna see our instance right there, and then you are gonna see the type of it, and you will see like MySQL 8.0. Then you are gonna see public IP. There's no private IP. We have given high availability enable, and right now we are in East 1B. That's our zone. Okay, so now if I will click here, and total storage taken by is 1 GB out of 10. You can see right there. Mostly we have 4 system databases and 2 user databases here. I can go ahead and create read replicas. I can create clone. I can connect by using a VM, and I can delete and make some edit as well. If I want to go back and make all those changes to this SQL instance, maybe storage increase, or maybe I want to do some other convert from public IP to the private IP and all that. Those all can be done here as well. Also, you can go to the overview, and once you click right there on an instance and you are in the overview, you have edit button here as well. Now there are tons of other things we are going to do in different demos, and import, export, and all that. We will do more on that later. Now you can restart your instance by clicking right here, or you can stop your instance by doing this. If you stop your MySQL instance, you will be still paying for the storage and IP assigned to it. So the stopping the instance does not mean you will not pay any penny. You have to pay the money for the storage and IP assigned to it. You can also create a clone out of this, and once you do that, it will create exactly same instance with all the databases and everything, but that will be clone of this instance, so that you can use for reporting or testing or something like that, and that we have done in different videos. I will do that again later on in this tutorial as well. Now one of the part we would like to do, we would like to failover. As of now, if you know that your instance is running in the US East 1B zone, okay, and we have US as a region. Now if I want to fail over to another zone, and what I need to do, I just went to the failover, and then I have to copy and paste my instance name and trigger failover. So what's going to happen now is going to fail over to the another zone. So that's great, because the other standby instance has all the data and everything that it need to bring it online and become a primary in that zone, and this other zone B will become standby. Okay, so that's really awesome, and it's in progress. If I will go back here, and yesterday I was testing few of the things when we were failing over between the 2 zones, and for a short time the database instance was not available. So if I will try to create this one, so right here it did create, so but it was for a very short time. So you see that still I can create the database and all that while this is in progress. So see right there, it's in progress, and I can create the database. Sorry, not this one, this one, and maybe I can yep. So once it's fail over, it's going to show us the different zone. It will be primary in that zone, and our standby will become in on the East 1B. So our MySQL instance has failed over to zone US East 1C now, and it's available for us to work. The IP will stay as it is, no changing in the IP, and what we have there in is already connected with the ID. We can create a database there, and whatever we want to do, we can do that. So you can see right there, no problem at all. Okay, so this is high availability is great feature when you have applications and you want to connect them in case one zone goes down. You want to have your database available always, so you can fail over between two zones in case of one outage happen in the one zone. I will put the link in the description. You can watch or read that video where I explain all those details about the availability, high availability for MySQL or SQL Server. So pretty much the same concept there. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.